6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samrasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Investment process related to tourism will be expedited. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the duty of the opposition is to assist the government to protect the people and the economy. The first phase of developing 100 cities will be completed by March. The Indian High Commission celebrates India's 73rd Republic Day in Colombo. French government supports development of rubber cultivation. Chanting of the Jayapiritha organised by the Ministry of Defence commences. Foreign news, dozens fear lost as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. Sports, Sri Lanka Cricket announces the squad for the Sri Lanka Tour of Australia 2022. News in detail. Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority has signed 8 memoranda of understanding with 8 state institutions with the aim of expediting the approval process for investments related to tourism. The agreements were signed today under the patronage of Minister Prasanna Ranatunga. He said that country received 1,006 tourism-related investments valuing over $7 billion by December last year. Only 457 investments valuing over $3 billion have been approved during that time. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the responsibility of the opposition is to join hands with the government to protect the people and the economy. He said although the opposition thinks its task is to topple the government, parliamentary democracy in other countries is implemented by joining hands during national disasters. He pointed out that the government took steps to remove salary anomalies of teachers and principals, which lasted for 24 years. State Minister Dr. Nalaka Godahewa says the first phase of developing 100 cities will be completed by March. Plans have been made to add another 50 cities to the program. According to the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement, 4 municipal council areas and 9 national towns will also be developed. The Indian High Commission celebrated India's 73rd Republic Day in Colombo today. It was on 26th of January 1950 that the world's largest written constitution came into force. This momentous occasion was observed through a series of ceremonies and events organized by the High Commission throughout the day in strict compliance with COVID-19 protocol. Consulate General of India in Hambantota and Jaffna and the Assistant High Commissioner in Kandy also observed the 73rd Republic Day of India by organizing special events. Minister of Plantation Dr. Ramesh Patrana and the French ambassador to Sri Lanka, Eric Lavatoux, visited the Rubber Institute at the Darting Field Estate, Agalawatha, yesterday. The purpose of the visit was to explore the preparation for the pilot project to strengthen the economy of small rubber plantation owners in Sri Lanka using the latest technology. The project is being implemented with financial and technical assistance from the French Ministry of Economy. This project is to be implemented on behalf of small rubber estate owners in Ampara and Monragala districts. Chanting of the Jayapiritha organised by the Ministry of Defence commenced this evening at the BMICH in Colombo. The aim of the Pirit chanting is to build prosperous country and to invoke blessings on the people in the new year. The Jayapirit chanting will be broadcast over City FM and Sinhala commercial service of the National Radio from 6:30 p.m. today. The Consumer Affairs Authority today informed court that it has advised Litrogas and Laughs Gas companies to accept partially used suspected gas cylinders returned by the consumers. Senior State Counsel Manohara Jayasinghe, appearing for the CAA, made the remarks in connection with a writ petition filed challenging the gas company's decision to release unsafe gas cylinders to the market was taken up before Court of Appeal. Public interest litigation activist Nagananda Kodituaku filed the petition. Court of Appeal fixed the petition for support on the 8th of February. South Korean jobs received by Sri Lanka have gradually increased. The Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau said the 4th batch left to South Korea for employment last night. 80 job recipients are included in the group. 169 have left for jobs in South Korea this month. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Police say that strict legal action will be taken against people who do not follow health guidelines. Ignoring and neglecting health advice have led to the increase of COVID again. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua said following health guidelines introduced to control the pandemic is the responsibility of the people. Mithuramulla garbage dump will be developed again by the Urban Development Authority. Ministry of Urban Development and Housing said although the previous government commenced the project to make it an urban park, no development activity has taken place. An investigation by the Urban Development Authority has found over 4 billion rupees have been wasted on the project. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, as the subject minister, has instructed to convert the place into an area which provides facilities to Kolonnawa town. Patients have suffered severe hardships due to the one-day strike launched today in the Western Province by the Joint Trade Unions of Services Supplementary to Medicine. Patients pointed out such actions amid the pandemic and at a time the country is returning to normalcy cannot be justified. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Health Ministry said today 241 more patients have recovered from COVID-19 infection within the last 24 hours. This brings the number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 576,781. Meanwhile, 11,543 patients are being treated in the country at present. Sri Lanka has registered 603,654 COVID cases so far since the outbreak of the pandemic. 15,330 of them have fallen victim to the virus. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the Central Environmental Authority will conduct an e-waste collection program at 40 locations in the Western Province on Friday and Saturday. Environment Minister Mahinda Amarewera said 17 locations in the Colombo district, 13 locations in the Gampaha district and 10 in the Kaltur district will be maintained. He said the decision was taken due to the significant environmental damage as well as serious impact on public health by electrical and electronic waste. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, dozens feared lost as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. Manufacturers' stocks of semiconductors plunge amid the global chip shortage. China eases COVID testing rules for Winter Olympics 2022. World news in detail now. U.S. Coast Guard officials are searching for 39 people who are feared missing after their ship capsized on Saturday night off the Florida coast. Officials were alerted yesterday morning after fishermen spotted a man clinging to the hull of a boat 45 miles from the city of Port of Pierce. The survivors said the group had embarked from Bimini, Bahamas on Saturday night and hit foul weather. U.S. officials say the boat may have been part of a human smuggling venture. The U.S. Department of Commerce has warned manufacturers have seen their stocks of semiconductors plunge from the global chip shortage. A survey of more than 150 firms found supplies had fallen from an average of 40 days' worth in 2019 to just 5 days in late 2021. Sale of devices soared during the pandemic, leaving semiconductor makers struggling to keep up with the demand. The shortage has resulted in huge disruptions for major industries. Organisers of the Beijing Winter Olympics have eased the COVID-19 testing requirement for participants amid a growing number of cases in the capital. The new change makes it easier for participants arriving at the Games to be considered virus-free. Of more than 3,000 Olympic arrivals, 106 have tested positive for the virus since 4th of January. Back to the headlines of the world news. Dozens feared lost as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. Manufacturers' stock of semiconductors plunge amid the global chip shortage. China eases COVID testing rules for Winter Olympics 2022. And that ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Renewable energy developers in the country called on the government to support the sector since the only solution to Sri Lanka's ongoing power crisis is to increase the contribution of renewable energy sources. They said yesterday the first step towards fast-tracking the implementation of renewable energy project is to firm up the cooperation between the government and the private sector at the earliest. They disclosed at present 294 private sector renewable energy projects with a combined capacity of over 780 megawatts have been commissioned. And that was development news.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports news. Cricket. Sri Lanka Cricket today announced a 20-member squad for the Sri Lanka Tour of Australia 2022. The matches will be played at the SCG, Manuka Oval and MCG starting from February 11th. Sri Lanka national team will play 5 T20Is during the tour. Dasun Shanaka will be the captain while Charit Asalanka is his deputy. Rumesh Ratnayaka was appointed as the interim coach of the national cricket team for the upcoming Sri Lanka Tour of Australia. He was appointed by the Executive Committee of Sri Lanka Cricket in consultation with the Technical Advisory Committee of Sri Lanka Cricket. Dilruwan Perera, who represented the Sri Lanka national team, has announced his retirement from all forms of international cricket with immediate effect. In his retirement letter written to Sri Lanka Cricket, Perera, however, said he will continue to play domestic cricket. Third match of the National Super League Limited Over tournament was played between Jaffna and Kandy at the SSC ground in Colombo. Batting first, Jaffna scored 246 for 8 wickets in 50 overs. Kandy won the match by 6 wickets by scoring 247 for 4 wickets in 39.4 overs. Colombo won by 7 wickets against Dambulla at the fourth match of the National Super League Limited Over tournament played today at P. Saravanumuntu Stadium in Colombo. Batting first, Dambulla scored 143 in 50 overs. Colombo reached the target in 20.4 overs, scoring 144 for 3 wickets. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Ceylon Cold Stores turned around its performance in the quarter ended December after a brief sales decline in the previous. Sri Lanka's largest listed food and beverage company reported revenue of 22.89 billion rupees in October to December period, up 21% from the same period last year. Its operating profit rose by 41% to 1.51 billion rupees. And that was business news.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Cabinet approval has been granted to the Finance Ministry to enter into agreements on double taxation and tax evasion on income tax avoidance with India, Turkey and the Czech Republic. Accordingly, the government would sign a new agreement with the Indian government to avoid double taxation and tax evasion on income tax, revising the current double taxation avoidance treaty. Similar treaties would be signed with the Republic of Turkey and the Czech Republic. And that was economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says, except for a few showers at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kaluthura district, mainly fair weather will prevail over the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, north central, and in the Uva provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the morning. That was the weather report, and to conclude this news broadcast, back to the headlines. Investment process related to tourism will be expedited. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the duty of the opposition is to assist the government to protect the people and the economy. The first phase of developing 100 cities will be completed by March. The Indian High Commission celebrates India's 73rd Republic Day in Colombo. French government supports development of rubber cultivation. Chanting of the Jayapiritha organized by the Minister of Defence commences. Foreign news, dozens feared lost as smuggling boat capsizes off Florida. Sports, Sri Lanka cricket announces the squad for the Sri Lanka Tour of Australia 2022. And that ends this evening's news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.